guys, how's it going? Band time. So, I'm going to try to cover as much as I can in as short a period of time, but it's going to be a little bit long. You guys have, most of you have 4 bands. You've got a very thin, yours is yellow, I believe, and then red, and then I think you also have purple and green, even though this is a different brand, but that's okay. Anyway, you have 4 bands. Now I took out 5 because I'm going to show you a way to loop 2 together if you ever wanted to purchase more and how that works. So just a couple of very, very basic things. You want to store them on a hook, away from the heat and away from the light if possible. You may want gloves for your hands because there is a fair bit of friction when you're grasping the band. So this is a simple, let's see if you can see this. This is a simple Adidas workout glove. It's vegan. And I think a couple of you have the door attachment. We're not going to get into it too much. I'll show you at the end how to use it. But it is very useful if you want to add to your repertoire. And if you don't have one of these Velcro rolls, I can send you one. This is also going to be very useful, especially when using bands outdoors in a playground. Okay? So I thought what would be most useful is just go through some basic exercises, starting with the major muscle groups. I'm going to do what's called attachment free, which means just the bands and my body. Then I'm going to show you some work with this bar. Now obviously you probably don't have a grab bar like this, but you might have access to a playground or a lamppost or a light. There's all kinds of possibilities. Okay? Basically, you're looking to use a resistance level that challenges you in 10 to 15 repetitions. If you're trying to build a lot of strength or power, you might go with a band that you can only lift 5 times. Let's not worry about that so much. And in terms of sets, the traditional holds true. You can aim for 3 sets. You can mix up your exercises and do lower body one day and upper body another, but we don't have to get into too much complication. You can always call me or email me if you have questions. So I'm going to start with the lower body, and I'm going to go a little bit lighter than you might. So the first thing we're going to do is a squat. I'm going to show you from the side. So you're going to step on the band with both feet. The further you take your feet apart, I'll show you from the front too, the more challenging this will be. A very simple way is just to get this around your head. Boom. Now you've got your hands free. Going down is going to be pretty easy. Going up, you're going to have some resistance. So if I walk it around, I want to keep my knees to the outside and chest up and back flat. If it's rubbing on my legs, all I have to do is loop my thumbs here and push away. So again, down easy, right? There's almost no resistance. Up, I've got resistance.
Where on your neck should that be? It's not pressing right on your neck.
No, it's actually on my very upper back. Another possibility would be get it off your neck and loop over one shoulder, loop over the other, and then grab here so it doesn't choke you. And the more you grab, the more resistance you have. So this would be fairly light, but let's see. This, you can see now there's more slack there. This would be heavier. So I know it's a little awkward, but it does add some resistance to your squat.
For us mere mortals, how about just a front squat? What if you hold it in front of your chest?
Yeah, you could do that.
Maybe you would use a heavier band in your case, but
you could definitely go here with palms up.
that a little easier on
And
the spine.
yeah, it's a little easier on the spine. There's not a whole lot of resistance. I'm going to show you one more squat, which I actually like the most. It's a one-legged squat. So I've got the band now under just one foot, and I'm going to loop this around the shoulder, and I'm going to hold on here for a little balance. And so as I go down, no resistance, but as I go up, there's some resistance. And actually,
That's
I can
opposite shoulder and foot.
I can loop it around. It's probably better to loop it around the whole back. So let's try that again. This can push away.
Now it's same side shoulder and foot.
Same side shoulder. I'd say that's probably better. So that's your one-legged squat. And we'll just do a couple more with the lower body. Deadlift. I'm going to go light because deadlifts are challenging and risky. So both feet on the band. Now I'm grabbing the loops. I'm not grabbing the handle. I'm grabbing both pieces of the band on both sides.
And his back was rounding, setting it up, but now it's not.
Yeah, so now chest up. Yeah, you don't want to round your back from here. So chest up, and I want to initiate really from the hips to straighten the legs. In other words, I don't want to just do that. So, and then keeping the knees. So let me do this way. Okay, so here, chest up, stand up, lower down, stand up. This is about 30 pounds. It's not much, 30 pounds of resistance, but you feel it. And the last one I'm going to show you for the lower body is a split squat. The band's going to be under one foot. Let's see how we're going to see this well. I'm going to put it under my right foot. My left foot is back. My right knee is bent. And got my hands here. Lower and lift. But the legs, the hands are just along for the ride. The legs are doing the work, and I can tell you, just those few reps, feel tremendous effort in the quad that was doing the work. Okay, so some lower body options. Upper body, chest, shoulders. Let's do a few for each. For the chest, I'm going to step on this with both feet. Going to grasp here near the top. The motion is going to be out and together so that I feel that in the pec. Alright, so let's try it with red. If red was too hard for you, you could go to your yellow. Okay, so here we go, guys. So this is, even for me, it's a reasonable effort. Right there. So that's your chest. Now similar, you could get the front of your shoulder, instead of going out and together, just come straight up. This is a front raise. And I'm grabbing here, thumb on top, but I could really just do this. And so you see that thumb is on the inside. Just grab here. Okay. Then we're going to go overhead. So we'll see if Shauna can get this in the shot. And again, remember your foot position. Feet closer together, less resistance. Feet further apart, more resistance. Now all I'm going to do, grasping the band here at the top, is take it up to upper chest can't quite rest here, but it's resting on my hands. And then I'm going to push up and apart at the same time. So a little dip in the knees. There's my finish, and that's your overhead press. Okay. Overhead press. All right. That's a classic. All right. So a lot of other possibilities with chest and shoulders, even as simple as looping the band so that it's under your shoulder blades, grasping both parts, and then just pushing forward. So let's get that from the side.
So that's looped under your shoulder blades?
Looped under the shoulder blades, and if you grasp more, you have more resistance, right? So from here, it's kind of a punch, but with both, right? So I'm here, little bend in the knees, there. And it should stay under your shoulder blades unless you don't have shoulder blades. Good. So we got chest, we got a little bit of shoulders. Let's do a great exercise for the shoulders with your light band. I'm going to show you with one strand. So I'm going to hold it about shoulder width. It's called a pull apart. I'm going to keep my arm shoulder height and pull apart. So what we're getting is...
Very important to start with the shoulder blades apart. Just in case if you have a tendency to pull them back, you gotta push first and then pull back.
Okay.
And he's not bending his elbows. I use this a lot with clients and people do a tricep extension. So if your hands are moving close to your chest and out.
And then, you know, if that was too easy for you, instead of grabbing a single strand, you could grab the double strand, and it would be the same movement, but that's a lot harder, right? Much, much harder. So you see what works for you. Okay, let's move on to the back. And with attachment free, well, I'll do another shoulder too, but it's a little tricky. I'm gonna take both strands under my right foot, and I'm going to flex forward, a little bend in the front knee. I am grabbing the loop or the handle here. The further away I bring my foot, the less resistance, the closer, the more. And I'm going to show you this from the side as well. So this is a one-arm row.
I say your hand should start in the same plane as your knee. And then
there it is. It's exactly,
end up somewhere by your ribs.
Yeah, there you go. There's the finish.
Not your shoulder.
Okay. So it's a really nice row.
You could probably straighten your back a bit more.
If Shauna pans down a little bit, I'll show you a seated row. So, and I hope we're doing okay with our time. And your seated row, it's going to loop around both feet. And you're going to grab fairly far down towards your feet. I'm going purple here, so it's about 65 pounds. And Shauna's experimenting with the lights. And so all I'm doing is retracting my elbows, pinching my shoulder blades, ready, set, and go. And my chest is up. Now a key point is you want tension throughout the movement. So at no point should there be complete slack. There's a little tension, there's more, it's up to you. This would not be a good starting point. So let's say here, boom, boom. Okay, so that's a seated row. And an upright row. So this can be for shoulders again. Just wanted to show you this. Now hands are very close together. We're going to lead with the elbows. Only do this if it doesn't cause discomfort. So I'm going to lead with the elbows, and I'm going to finish here. I don't know how that looks. Shauna will tell me. It's not terrible.
Not terrible.
Hearing clicking. Okay. Okay. So good for the front of the shoulders.
I don't claim to see anything well from 12 feet.
Just a couple more unattached biceps. Similar start as a lot of the other exercises. The difference now is the elbows are going to be pinned.
Oh, I see. If I look at you in the room rather than in the camera frame, I can see better.
Always works that way. So I'm going to pin my elbows. This is more of a hammer curl because the palms are facing in. And I'm coming up. Now it's going to dig into your fingers a little bit, sorry. But it's not horrible. And if you wear gloves, it's a little better. So there's my hammer curl. If I rotate so my palms are facing forward, that's more of a traditional curl. And if I want to get my triceps, I have, I have a bunch of options. Let's see. I don't want to make this too complicated. I think I'm gonna go both feet again.
I would go for doing the one arm extension and attach it to the bar.
Yeah, but let's just say you don't have a bar. I'm just gonna go both feet, pull up hard. Okay, so now elbows are up to the ceiling more or less, and I'm gonna just extend.
He's trying to avoid letting his hands get pulled too quickly too. You don't want to overdo bending the elbow.
Okay. All right.
Emphasize the straighten.
So there you go. Okay. So there's a pretty basic full body workout, unattached. How are we doing on time?
Coming up on 17:38.
All right. So we're
under 20.
We're gonna go pretty fast. So guys, here's the deal. If you are outdoors and you have access to a pole, you can take your band, loop it around, then take one end, loop it through so that it's secure. Okay? It's got to be secure. You don't want to use anything that's got sharp edges because it'll destroy your band. Once you've done that, you have all kinds of possibilities. For example, we can do a one-arm punch like this, working in opposition.
You see how he's putting a little hip into it.
We can do, I'm going to, turn my back to you. We can do a row.
Well, here you get to see the muscle that's actually working when you show from the back.
Yeah.
It is a back exercise.
And if we change the anchor point, right now it's a little bit above my hips, but if I go higher or I go lower, that changes the exercise. We can go back to our tricep, but now we have the option of...
You could go higher with the band.
Yeah, I probably could go higher. So I can just block my elbow.
Yes.
And now, see if I can get that from the side.
I would just bring up the attachment higher.
Yeah, I just wanted them to get a better
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, here you go.
I'll even pan here a little.
So there you go. And then you can probably see this is where your tricep will be working pretty hard, but you gotta block the elbow.
This is much preferable to the one overhead.
Yeah, I think it is too. Okay, so a number of possibilities. Now the last two things that we want to show you are the door attachment. So the The roller is what will go over the door. Then you're going to shut the door. Make sure it doesn't open, because that's not fun.
Use a piece of cardboard to simulate the door.
Yeah, I'll do that.
There.
Okay. So, I know this is super high
We're
tech.
supporting the post office.
So, you got this is your door. This is the roller. It's going to go here. We're going to shut the door. Then we're going to loop the band through the webbing. And there's a number of ways you can use it. You could use it like this. Loop.
That would be if it was going over the top of the door.
Yeah, this would be the top of the door.
Probably.
And you can also put your door attachment
at
the bottom of your door, and that gives you a lot of options.
If you're you should tell them that which side it should be on. You're on the side that the door does not open into.
Not opening towards you. It should be opening away from you, ideally, right? I mean, if it really shuts tight, you should be pretty safe. And this is the other way to attach it, like so. And then you've got the option of going single strand, double strand, which is harder. I think you'll probably be able to figure it out. And then the very last thing, if you're ambitious and you want to use 2 bands at the same time to do some locomotive drills, very quickly we will get our Velcro attachment. You want to use the smooth side. The smooth side is going to face the band. So I'm going to put these 2 bands together, and then I'm going to roll my Velcro. Hope you guys can see this. Kind of screwed it up here, but it's okay. It'll be all right. I'm going to roll my Velcro all the way around. I can
Closing in.
I can send you one of these.
Tim's handiwork.
Yes. And okay. Now the 2 bands should be very secure. And then I'm going to attach this to my bar. Hang on a sec. I'm going to loop through.
There's another slip knot.
Okay, so now I got double band. And you might be thinking, well, why the hell would you do that? Well, it gives me some slack so that if I want to do locomotive drills, now I'm not gonna tackle Sean on that. So, for example, a skip, I've got a nice amount of resistance running in place. Side shuffles, right? Crawls, lateral crawls. A lot of different